I'm going to talk about why I'm not been applying any jobs in the UK even after my PLAB 2. So without any further delay, let's get started. So I have written down few points, like it's not a long list, but there are like 4-5 points that I want to talk about in this video. The first one is actually that I don't want to. By that I mean that I don't want to apply for jobs in the UK as of now. I know like it sounds crazy when I have come so far and still like I am still thinking that I don't want to apply and I'm willingly not applying for the jobs. But I have my own reasons. I can explain this. You know, when I was preparing for my PLAB 2, I was really enthusiastic about this journey. I was really optimistic that everything is gonna go as planned and I'm gonna clear my PLAB 2 and I'm gonna get my GMC registration, and then I will eventually apply for jobs and then I will enter into the training. Sounds like a perfect plan, right? When I went to the UK and I lived there, I realized that this is not the place that I want to be in near future. And I am in an age where I want to get married. I want to have my family, and I think UK is not a place where I want my kids to be raised. This is like completely my personal opinion. I know a lot of people leave everything behind and then completely start their journey from very beginning and they still live a happy life in the UK. I'm not talking about anybody's behalf but on my own, and this is my own experience. Like growing up, you have certain expectations from your job, from your environment that is around you, from the people who you are living with, your neighbors, your family, friends, and everybody, right? So I am working in India full time now, and I have like a really good hold of everything that I do in general in life at this moment. I have my family nearby, I have few of my friends here nearby. Like everything is going really well, and if I compare my life in the UK, like everything that I have experienced in the UK, I don't think that I'm ready at this moment to shift to the UK and leave everything behind that I have. I know change is like really uncomfortable, and I was thinking about this since 2 years, that when everything will be done, like when I'll be done with my PLAB and GMC registration, I'll surely move to the UK. Even if I don't get a job in the beginning, I would move to the UK, leave my job here, move to the UK, do my clinical attachments, do some courses, and like keep applying for the jobs meanwhile. Like when I got back from the UK and when I gave myself some time to think about everything and process everything, I came to a conclusion that I might not want to move to the UK as of now. Although I applied for GMC registration, I did all the paperwork, everything is done, but still like I don't feel confident enough to move to the UK. And secondly, safety reasons. Now, I know a lot of people are living in the UK. UK is really big. Every country is unsafe in some sort or the other. But I live in Himachal Pradesh. I live in the mountains. I live with the people who are like really kind, really sweet, and really helpful. And I've been living away from my home since 11-12 years now. And I have lived in China. I have lived in different places in Himachal away from my home, and I feel completely safe. Like even in Himachal when I was working in the medical college as a JR, and now that I'm working as a medical officer in a civil hospital, I feel really confident and I feel really safe even when I have to go out at the night, maybe 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, any time in the night. I feel really safe. Even when I was in China, I used to travel alone. I used to come home really late at night when we used to go to some bars or anywhere. Like it was really safe. But when I went to UK, I realized that it's not really safe to go out at night, and it's not really safe to go out alone in general. Whenever I used to go out in the UK, I always had to carry my backpack just like near to my chest. I used to be really skeptical and like really scared. You don't know like who will come and might snatch the purse from you, or might stab you if you resist, or might take away your phone, passport, your money, anything. Especially when I was living in London, I felt like it was so unsafe to go out alone. I'm not saying that people are not helpful or people are not kind to you or maybe they are not nice to you. Every place has good and bad people. I'm not talking about people in general, but I felt it's more unsafe than the places I have been earlier, like I have lived earlier. Every day passed by, and this thing kept going in my head that I don't want to move here as of now, and this is not the place where I want to be. This is only my thoughts. I am not saying that you shouldn't be moving to the UK. It's completely your choice. Go explore, make your own decisions, because I knew that these things are very prevalent in the UK, especially in London. Like, it's not really safe, but I wanted to go there, experience everything on my own, and I wanted to be there in the moment, and I wanted to achieve what I dreamt of since 2 to 3 years, and I did that. I would just suggest that don't make up your mind listening to my story or listening to my experience. Everybody has different experience in different places. Some people have really bad experiences in India as well, and I know if you are not conscious enough, you are not safe anywhere in the world. I understand everything, but comparing my previous experiences and my current situation with the situation when I was in London, maybe in future if things change, I might change my mind as well. I might move to the UK, but at this moment I really want to stay back and think about some other things that I want to do. Thirdly, it's about my CV requirements. So I was really naive when I started preparing for my PLAB 1 and PLAB 2. I didn't really know like what are the requirements for your CV to be, like it should stand out from other people. Now that I have done my PLAB 2, I now realize that it's not really about your exam. It's more about how well you present your CV to them. Like, if you really want to get a job, the requirements on your CV are really, really different from what you are required to do to work as a doctor in India, specifically in Himachal Pradesh. We don't really have any researches going on, or any publications, or any paper presentation, or anything sort of these kind of academic stuff. I have worked as a medicine JR as well for maybe 1.5 years, and still, like, I never really thought about publishing any paper, because people don't really generally talk about these things. Like, especially if you are not a PG student, or if you haven't done your PG, you might not really hear about these things in everyday routine in your hospitals. So yeah, I think my CV is not so strong to apply for the jobs as of now. Requirements are not really difficult, but they really want to see like how active are you apart from your clinical medicine, like your clinical work. How active are you in other fields as well, like publishing something, presenting something, attending conferences, doing some courses like ALS, BLS, ACLS, and teach the teacher. And then there are conferences. They want to know like which conferences did you attend, and are you really active in attending all these courses and conferences. And then like you can talk about your skills and anything. So I think my CV is not so strong as of now. So that's also one of the reasons that I haven't been applying for any jobs, apart from the reasons that I mentioned. I really think that your actual competition starts when you are applying for the jobs, and you have to compete among those people whose CV is actually very, very NHS oriented and is like really strong. Another thing that I jotted down is that cost of living is really, really, really high in the UK than India. In Himachal Pradesh, even if you are earning maybe 40,000, 50,000 a month, it's more than enough for you to survive, to save, to have a luxury life. In the UK, it's nothing, like really nothing. I remember when I rented the apartment in London, I was sharing it with my friends and I paid around 1,23,000 or something for 1 month. That was my part, and my friends also paid the same amount. So it was more than 3 lakhs or something for one house with one hall, one kitchen, one bathroom with 2 bedrooms. It was really expensive, and if you want to live in like sharing apartments where you don't know people and it's like not in a really good condition, you might get apartments which are cheaper. But it's not about the apartments always, right? It's about your commute, it's about your eating habits, how much you are spending on your health. Like, I really like eating high protein diet and I go to gym almost every day. And when I used to stay in London, I used to travel from King's College to my gym and then from my gym to my apartment. And sometimes I would directly go from my apartment to the gym and then from my gym to King's College. So it was like a routine for me. And then in the evening, sometimes when I used to hang out, sometimes alone, and when my friends joined me later after their Blab 2, we used to go out together. But every time, like, we used to step out of the house, we were spending like maybe 4,000, 5,000 rupees per person. It was something I felt like, of course, like if I moved to the UK, I would be earning in pounds. But I think it's like really stressful knowing the fact that I can get one pack of bread in India for 50 rupees and I'm paying for that bread maybe 200 or 250 rupees, just like that. I don't know, maybe I am thinking too much about it. Maybe some people don't even really bother the cost of living. But this is about my story and this is about how I want to live my life. And I feel like UK is not a place where I want to be at this point of my life. And lastly, I want to talk about one thing is that in my previous videos I also talked about that my family is not really happy with the decision that I made of going to the UK. So like they really tried to convince me that why staying back in India is like really important for them. Earlier I did not listen to them because I knew that I had the potential of giving these exams and passing them. So I really wanted to like prove myself to me and to my family that I can actually do things that I think of doing and I can achieve the things that I really work hard for. So that was the reason that I was like really rebellious of going to the UK, and I'm really happy that I went there and I experienced the life there, and then I'm in a better position to make my own decisions rather than listening to anybody else and brainwashing my head and making my decisions on somebody else's opinion. That's not something I would ever want to do in my life. My family also played like a really major role of me staying back in India rather than moving abroad. It's God's plan that I am here at this moment, and I'm really trying to enjoy everything that is coming my way. And I'm really cherishing all the moments with my family and at the workplace. All in all, honestly, I am just trying to cherish my life at this moment. I've been really hard and harsh on myself. I've been working so hard. I've been constantly trying to push myself. I have not taken a single day off since 2 to 3 years, maybe on myself, not from the work, but on myself. I've been like really harsh. So I think this is my time. I think this is my time to just, calm down and relax. These are a few things that I feel like are holding me back and are the main reasons that I'm not applying for jobs in the UK and I'm not planning to move to the UK as of now. I might change my plan in near future, but at this moment I am just staying back home. So that's all about this video. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment and share, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, bye.